I'm going to answer some of your questions and dilemmas while I do my skincare today. The ones that you've asked me on Instagram. And, I'm not that pale, actually. It's a lie. I actually went to a Lancome event and it was a really beautiful influencer event. There were not a lot of influencers and it was very intimate and I really, really enjoyed it. And, it was about the new Absolute line, but I've been telling you all about it in the previous one. So I don't know if this is going to be a separate video or if this is going to be the whole vlog, because I don't want the vlogs to be too short, because personally, I like vlogs that are longer. So let me know in the comments below if you prefer longer vlogs or if you like short vlogs. And also, tell me your postpartum without telling me. I have so many baby hairs, but I'm not complaining. Just stating the fact, because I don't want to complain about it, because where is my eye group? Oh, it's there. Because I'm excited about new hair. I'm going to read from here. I have your questions, screenshots on my laptop. The first one is actually a dilemma. I'm going to read the dilemma to you. Obviously, I'm not going to name names, but yeah. Hey, not really a dilemma, but something that I'm currently struggling with. I'm 27 years old and I had my second baby 2 weeks ago. I also have a 3-year-old who's on summer break. And although my partner is off helping me loads, it has been really hard. My husband's sister is the same age as me and we're really good friends. However, she's still single, living at her parents' house, working full-time on a very good income and is traveling the world. She's always going out, goes on holidays, has the best experiences. Money's absolutely no issue as she lives rent and expense-free. I'm very happy for her, but I can't stop myself from comparing how different our lives are, and I'm thinking how much I'm missing out on life. Since I'm not working, we live on one income, it's been tight, and of course motherhood comes with so many responsibilities, lack of freedom, especially that now there's two. Don't get me wrong, I adore my kids, but I don't know how blessed I am. Advice. Okay. Let me give you an advice specific on the situation, then we're going to talk about the whole stay-at-home stuff that you see on social media. So first of all, I think, and I'm going to be very honest, because if you'd be I'm going to answer these questions if you are my friends, girls, but if you would be my friend, I probably would say that comparison comes from unhappiness in terms of like your inner self. So what you need to do is practice more gratitude and trying to be more happy individually. I think motherhood is difficult because we always talk about balance, and balance cannot always be created. I think it's unnecessary pressure to have the feeling that you always need to be balanced, because you're not always going to be balanced. But what you can do is include different things that will create some kind of feeling of balance in your life. So what I mean by that is, when you're a mother, like, you don't really have a lot of alone time because, when your baby's napping in the evening, and sometimes your baby's not napping, sometimes they go to sleep really late, then you have to do dinner and what might not. But I think that having those little moments where you connect with yourself is really helpful. Then the other thing is, and I talk to this about my friends, because me and my friends are in very different stages of our lives. I don't have a lot of mom friends. I do have a lot of mom online friends, because I think mom friends are so important, but I don't have a lot of friends in real life, because I'm like the first one that had kids. I do have my sis-in-law, which I appreciate and love very much. Some of them are with someone, and I think that in every stage of your life, you could be envious or feel like you're missing out. Someone that's single, you don't know, maybe your sister-in-law has the same thoughts. Maybe she's like, oh, I wish I was in that situation. Instead, I travel all alone. I think that it doesn't matter what you have in life. If you are not living in the present, then you're always going to be thinking, oh, I should probably have this. And it's a completely normal feeling to have, that you maybe are like, oh, maybe I should have done things more for myself. Because I think once you have kids, you realize that you're never going to be the same. You're able to do things, and there will be a time where you can do things alone, but it's never going to be the same because you're going to be a mom. You're always going to have your kids in the back of your mind. But what I want to say is, I feel like in every situation that you are, you could wish to be somewhere else. And when you're single and you want to be in a relationship, you'll always focus on that. You're like, I want to be with someone. I don't like to being alone. And then when you're in a relationship, then you're like, oh, I should have appreciated more alone. I should have just enjoyed my own company, because everything in life has its timing. In life, most of the things you can't control, but what you can control is how you show up for yourself. Another question in these questions where they say, talk about staying at home wife and stuff. I think it gets glamorized a lot on this internet. And I'm not saying that being able to be with your kids is not amazing. But I truly believe, that's just my personal belief. Like, not everyone has to believe in it. But I do believe that it doesn't matter in any kind of situation that you're having, whether you are extremely wealthy, whether you not so much. I think as a woman, you should always be able to have at least one day where you do something that excites you in terms of like intellectually, where you feel like you are doing something for yourself. And, not everyone has the luxury to have someone that takes care of your kids. I truly know that. And I know that's a privilege, but I think that if you have the possibility, do one day something for yourself. And if you have all the money in the world and you don't need to work, or do something that you feel like excites you as an individual. Because is the best thing in the world. Being a wife is amazing, but you also need to be just you. And I think that in order to feel like, I just think that it's good to do something for yourself. That's just how I think. I think that it's important to get out of the house, to do something for yourself, just have that day or half a day, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Can you share some tips for a TTC journey on mine now? So I wish you all the best. And I hope you're gonna be having the great news that you're pregnant very soon. I would just recommend taking care of your body, because your body is gonna be the place where your baby's growing. I think especially the first 3 months when you're pregnant, make sure that you're very, very careful, because that's when everything is, developing, and then obviously they just grow, and then there's other things that develop. But I've been told the first 3 months are the most important to pay attention to. And then what I would do is I would also make sure when you are trying to get pregnant, when you are on your like before pregnancy, I would recommend to already take prenatal vitamins, like especially folic acid is really important. And just double check, like get your blood drawn, make sure that you check whether you have any deficiency iron or anything like that, because like your body needs to be at a great start. Then at the end of the day, you cannot control it. Like everything could be right and it's not happening, and something could be wrong and it's still happening. So you cannot control it, but try to just focus on what you can control. So making sure that you're healthy, making sure that you eat healthy, make sure that you are happy, and then try to, like, that sounds maybe a bit stupid, but there's a woman on TikTok that talks about it. I think visualize having your baby, maybe speak to it in spirit, pray for it, pray to God. If you believe in God, I do. So pray to God and just try to be as calm and relaxed as possible. I know it's not possible, but you have to trust me in this. It's going to happen when it's meant to happen. So that's what I would like to tell you. Then someone else, how did you create a wardrobe? That's not really a dilemma, girls. There are so many people on these apps that say, I'm going to show you how to create a minimal capsule wardrobe. And they're doing hauls every other month. So that's not minimal. Minimal people, like people who live a minimal lifestyle, they live very minimally. They are not going to do hauls all the time. Now, this is a situation. Do you want to spend a lot of money on having a very curated small wardrobe? That you could do. Like, I could give you the best clothes, the best fashion brands, and you could shop there and you don't have a limited budget. But if you are someone that has budget, which most people are, even people that earn really great money, because how do you want to get to a point where you're financially free if you just spend like a crazy person? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Don't look online. Don't think that people who flaunt certain lifestyle, for some people, that's the truth. Like, some people live the life that they show, but some people don't. So what I mean by that is, I think I'm not like someone that is saying that I'm like a influencer, sustainable fashion. I'm not like that. I'm not going to claim that to be. What I focus on is trying not to shop too much. I don't shop too much, but I allow myself to shop sometimes at certain stores that maybe, could be high-end fashion, fast fashion. I really try to avoid it, but I try to do a little bit of a balance. However, Vestiaire Collective, which is a second-hand designer, website I love for ready-to-wear fashion. And I found amazing pieces on there. And I don't know, I can show you once a tutorial. Maybe I can do a shop with me. I film it and we do it, but I'm not due to shop until I lost all the weight, girls. So I'm not going to shop again. I don't shop that much. I shop seasonally. I do shop and then I stop again. Like, I don't just buy stuff. Oh, that was my cue because that's my baby. But I just had to check because my baby woke up and my mom's here. So I feel great about it. I was having a really difficult time to ask for help actually at the beginning of postpartum. So I recommend you doing that. Yeah, anyways, so more questions. How do you teach your daughter elegance in class? My girl is 3 months. So you are going to be the best example. You can teach your child anything by being what you want to teach. If you want to show empathy and teach empathy, you have to be empathetic. You have to be the person. Like, I always think of it like that. Yes, I'm the mother, so I'm my child's, like, we're parents, but we are the guides for her. We are guides to make sure that we guide her through her beginning of life and always. But, I think at the beginning you're a guide, a teacher, and then you're just like a consultant. Like, you are taking a back seat. You're still there for your kids, but obviously you're not going to, I don't want to interfere in their life decisions. I just want my kids to know that they have a place to come to whenever they need without it like being just unsolicited opinions all the time. Then, because you're then never going to talk to your parents because you're like, oh, they're going to just give me like one of those opinions again without really listening to me. Anyways, I try to teach her elegance by just being who I am. And, I have a very specific opinion on elegance in class. Probably some people don't agree with it, but, I don't really care. But, what I would like her to find beauty in every little thing and make every little thing a ritual. That's what I do. Coffee for me is a ritual. Skincare is a ritual, and all of those things. And it took me a lot of times to do those things when I just became a mother, because it's hard, finding your new ways and making sure that you manage your time very well. But I will make more videos. Then I also got a question, how to find a high-value man. Girl, by being a high-value girl. By being the high-value woman. I don't really like high-value because, I don't know, it just reduces. I used to use it at the beginning, and I use it for hashtags because it's the kind of audience that you want to attract. But I feel like, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but I feel like a lot of that content is very money-focused, and it almost gives doing things for money kind of vibe. And that's not the vibe we're going for. If you want purely transactional relationships, meaning you give beauty and just there and you are with someone for money, my content is not the one for you. Because on here, we still believe in hopeless romance and love. And we believe that, yes, financial security is important, and more like maybe so ambitious, being someone that's ambitious. But that's just one part, that you have to be her. You have to become her. And when I say her, your higher self. You have to be her, okay? If I would recommend you, and I can make a long video about it, but this is what I would do if you want to look for this kind of person. Decenter men. Decenter men completely. Maybe write down, because you want to manifest at some point, the things that you want, the qualities that you want in a man, and be generous, like in terms of like, just write down all the things that you like, girl. There's no rules in terms of like your wishes. And then think of yourself. What kind of girl does this guy want? So once you wrote that down, you are going to close that book and you're going to be the person that you want to be. Because if you seek a man like that, it just means unconsciously you seek to be a certain person. Because if you think of a man, a lot of times people think of a partner because they are thinking what this partner means. A lot of times when we seek general things, we're not taking the actual things, the experience, or the person. We seek the feeling that gives you. And you have to create that feeling by yourself. So if you want financial independence, I recommend you to try to find that, because yes, it's good to find that in somebody else, but it's also good if you have both. But yeah, you have the right mindset, so when the situation comes, you don't sabotage it. So I'm going to make a video on it, but I think it is healing your childhood trauma, healing your inner child, and trusting yourself. So you have to become a person with good intentions, meaning you will make mistakes in life. You're a human being, and the things of like the topic of self-awareness sometimes is a bit too much. But what you have to understand is that that's how I view things. And if you follow me, you might agree, and you might, maybe not with all of the things, but I believe in life, everything's going to come back at you at some point. But not on the things that you do, but on your intention. So if you have a great intention and you might do a mistake, that's not a big deal. But if you want to sabotage someone, for example, and you have bad intention, that's not good. So in order not to sabotage things for you, you have to believe it and always praise. You have to, believe and say out loud that good things come to you and that everything that is meant for you will come to you. And you have to believe in it. Like, you have to believe in it. You have to believe that things that are meant for you will come to you. And once you believe that, you will focus on you. And when things come your way, you have to go with your gut and you have to trust yourself to make the right decisions. And you have to believe that if things don't work out for yourself, and if you're sad about things because they don't work out for yourself, that's because something better for you is waiting for you. And if your intentions are good, you don't have to be afraid of bad karma. Okay? Then, how to glow up inside and mentally. Again, I will make a more video on it, but I would just tell you to heal your childhood trauma. And when I say heal, I don't mean you can completely heal from it, but you have to understand that a lot of identity that you have today is based on your childhood. And a lot of the things that you think, like the way that you think, the way that you operate in life, is based on what you've learned. So if you feel like there's certain things that you dislike, work on those. And fake it till you make it, girl. And when I say fake it, I don't mean fake it being a fake person, but you have to tell yourself that you're the it girl. You have to tell yourself that you're this girl. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. Okay? I'm going to say this to end this video, but I will tell this to my daughter. You have one life to live on this earth, girl. And you are always gonna be you. You are never gonna be anyone else. And you are always running away from the person that you are and you're supposed to be by trying to be someone else. And it's not gonna happen. You are always gonna be you. You better make the best out of it. Why not live a life where you're completely obsessed with yourself and where you look in the mirror and think, I'm that girl? Why not live a life where you feel like you're constantly trying to give the best to yourself? Why not live a life where you start setting boundaries and say, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to say when things are not okay, and I'm going to say when I don't like doing things, and I'm going to ask for things. Now, I always say ask for things, never make yourself small, because we've had this idea since centuries that if you want to be a woman, you want to be adored, you have to make yourself small and do everything for other people. No, you have to put yourself on a pedestal. Doesn't mean that you have to expect from yourself to be perfect, but you have to know that you deserve the best. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't give the best to the people you love, but you have to be selective. Not everyone deserves access to you. And we don't care what other people say. We don't care what other people think about you. What is important is what you think about yourself and how you move, and that you move with good intentions. Because the most important thing is that you go to sleep at night and you know you didn't hurt a soul because your intentions are pure. And you have to just start acting as if you already hurt. I'm the best example right now. I went through postpartum. I had a really tough time. You might think everything's perfect. It's not. I'm working on myself again. It's always up the same process. You're not going to arrive at a point and you stop. You just have to get comfortable with always improving, always advancing. And some people say, oh, that's so exhausting. You probably have to love yourself. But you know what loving someone means? Taking care of them. So you have to take care of you. It doesn't mean you have to have unrealistic expectations, but it means that you have to nurture yourself, nurture your own self. So For example, I want to be fit again. I want to be skinny again. So what do I have to do? Change my lifestyle. I could sit here and say, I find it so hard to lose the 6 kgs from pregnancy. No, it's not from pregnancy. It's because I couldn't stop putting down the chocolate because I was so exhausted that I needed sweets. And that's okay, but I don't have to lie to myself. So glow up mentally and glow up physically goes hand in hand. You have to put it here and then act on it. Don't just talk. Act on it. I'm going to help you. We're going to make some videos. I'm going to be here. And I'm just like you. I'm working on it as well. But I've been there. I've done it. It's always like that. But I just can tell you, it's all in your mind. Because at the end of the day, who knows really what's real and what's not real? The only thing that you know for sure is who you are. So I hope that I hope they enjoyed the little pep talk. I just feel like I get much more inspired now that I'm a daughter, because I want her to be the best version of herself, but not the version that I put in her, but the version that she puts in her. I want to make sure that she feels good in her skin, she loves herself, and she knows she can do anything that she wants in life if she puts her mind to it, if she has the right support system, and if she believes in herself, and if she acts on it, okay? So you can do that too. You can start at any point in time. Like, there's literally a book, I have to put the name, I forgot it. I read it when I was pregnant because I want to make sure I do good parenting. But they literally talk about how you can always reprogram your brain. And an identity is basically a collection of information and programs that you had, that you've been, information that you've been programmed to believe in since you were a child. You can change that. You can change everything. Your brain is forever capable of changing things. For me personally, and I'm not here to preach because I believe everyone does what they like and everyone believes what they believe in. But for me, it's like, if I get my health in check, if I do my wellness, if I pray, if I believe in God, if I am grateful to God for everything in life, and that's as simple as being able to breathe, and if I'm trying to give, because love, the biggest service is love, and out of service comes back. And if I'm thinking about myself, and if I think of others, then I'm going into a good direction. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you want longer vlogs, if you want shorter vlogs, and what kind of subjects you have, and questions. You can always ask me anything.